Hey guys, it's Mr. Tullis here. I'm trying to show you actually how to do a line graph or actually a scatter plot, which we'll use a lot this year in class. So we've collected data and I want to go ahead and enter it in here, and I've already saved some, so I'm going to just pop that back in real quick. You see it right there. I'm going to actually just kind of change some of these settings a little bit just to make them fit a little better, just because, it doesn't really matter. If you want to do a scatter plot so we actually can see if there's a relationship, a direct relationship or an indirect relationship, you're going to want to put your items that are your x-axis items here in the far left column. In this case, I just made up some data here for different heights of a fictional class. So with my x data here, and if I want to compare height to thumb length, I'm going to highlight that group, those two groups together. Then I go over here to the Make a Chart button, which you guys did for the bar chart. Click that. Give it a second here to load up. And this is a bar chart. We don't want a column chart or a bar chart. I'm going to switch this to, let's scroll down here all the way towards the bottom to where it says Scatter. I just scroll down almost to the bottom, not quite. Click on Scatter. This skips to a bunch of dots, and I've got some things I can play with here. So right now, this can pretty much be done, but I want to tweak it a little bit. So I'm going to go over here to Customize, and I'm going to pick on Chart Style. I like that one there. I'm going to leave that there. Maximize makes it kind of fill the screen up of the chart, and that's all right, but it kind of gets kind of busy. You lose some of your points behind some of the labels, so I like to leave that off. Chart titles. If I want to switch this isn't a bad chart. It's telling you what we got here, thumb length versus height of the person, and that's perfectly fine. We don't have to have a super creative title every time. It can be something as simple as that. So I'm going to leave that alone. If I want to change the font, I could. If I want to change the color, let's make it purple. That's always appropriate for central. So here we're talking about, and if I want to actually change the other things, we went to charts and axis titles here for a second. If I want to change the y-axis title, or if I didn't have one, if I didn't put one up here, and I want to actually add that to this graph, I could go over here to the chart title, vertical axis title, and I could change it to whatever I want. I could type in here, like right now you can see it's defaulted to thumb length in centimeters. I'm going to take that out, and I'm going to actually just put in whatever I want. We'll just say pickles are awesome, just for some randomness. And once I hit enter, you can see that it actually updated it on the graph. So I don't really want that. So I'm going to go back here and put this back in, which was thumb length in centimeters. Look, a little typo there. Keep moving forward here. If I'm going down this, so I can change these out into either of the chart labels. I can do the chart title. If I keep moving down here, this series button would actually let you change some of the different, like the font and the color of the dots here. So I want to mess with the dots, make them red. I could do that. I do want to add a trend line, and this will let me see if there's any kind of a relationship. Now, this trend line actually, it's doing a mathematical equation for you, which we don't have to worry about right now. We'll get into that later. But what it's showing me is that I don't really see a clear trend. It's not really following the line of the dots, either up or down. So this would be like a no relationship kind of thing. So there is no relation between the length of your thumb and how tall you are, which kind of makes sense. People have different sizes hands and different size heights, and there is no real relationship there. If I keep going down here on the other tabs, the legend, I would just go and turn that off because it's not really telling us anything new that we can't see from the graph. So just drop that off. That makes this a cleaner, clearer looking graph. Horizontal axis here, if I want to change the labels again, I'm going to leave that alone for now. And same with grid lines. If I want to mess with like adding grid lines or making the grid lines smaller or bigger, more count in the back. So this is a good looking graph right here. I've got a title, I've got my data points, I've got a trend line, I have my x-axis with the numbers of what the labels are. It tells me what my units and what my topic is. I have the y-axis piece here. So that's a good one. So I'm actually going to take this and just kind of minimize it just to kind of get out of the way. Because here's the trickier part of this. If I'm going to make 3 graphs, because I want to compare my height to all of these. I want to compare height to thumb length and the height to fingertip, your wingspan, and then height to shoe size. Now to get the next piece, you're going to highlight the first column again. You want to compare your X group, which is the height. And then I'm going to hold down Control on my keyboard. You can't see that, but I'm holding Control down. And now I can just, on my Mac, it's actually Command. On your Chromebooks, it'll be Control. So hold this down. And then I'm going to highlight the second column. And you'll know you're doing it right because it highlights. If it doesn't, it will happen like it just happened to me where you don't see it. Now I'm saying I want to compare this data to this data. Hit the chart button again, and this will go much faster. It's all the same stuff. I'm going to switch this to the scatter plot again towards the bottom. Boom, there we go there. I'm going to go in my customize. I'm okay with this title, these labels. All I really want to do is I want to take and get rid of the legend. So I'm going to go down to legend here, find the position, say none, and back to the series, add a trend line. And look, there's actually a decent trend. You got some points above and below the line. The line actually follows the shape of your dots. This is a good relationship. I can say this is a positive or direct relationship because as your height goes up, the distance from tip to tip in your finger also goes up. So the distance between your hands gets bigger as you get taller. So that's a good relationship. All right, so let's go find out one last little bit here. Is there a relationship between shoe size and height? So I'm just going to minimize this, and you could actually cut and paste these and drop them into a Google Doc or a slideshow, Google Slide. So one last one here real quick. There's that. Hold Control down on your keyboard. Hit the other piece here. Grab the graph button. Bingo, bango. We like that right there. So again, I like all the titles here because I had them in my data sheet. Just going to find my customize, turn this into data, custom column to a scatter plot. Go back to customize, turn off the legend. I always lose it. There's that. And under series, add that trend line back in. And again, I can see a nice clear set. This is a nice direct relationship. That line follows right down. It splits the middle between all the dots. You've got about 5 above, 5 below. It's pretty much a perfect, nice direct relationship. And again, if I wanted to go through and play with some of the different things, like changing the chart colors or the color of the data points, that's perfectly acceptable. So there you go. Real quick overview on how to create scatter plots in Google Sheets.